All right, welcome to this explainer. The kangaroo is absolutely the beloved, iconic mascot of Australia, right? But today, we're actually stripping away all those cute cartoons to look at the raw biological reality. We're going to uncover how this creature, one that's totally known for its cuddly image, is actually a hardcore apex survivor built for an incredibly brutal landscape. Literally, by the time we're done here, you will never look at a kangaroo the exact same way again.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're so incredibly used to seeing kangaroos as these friendly, happy symbols on tourism brochures, but can these beloved national treasures actually pose a physical threat to a human being? It's kind of a shocking possibility to consider, isn't it? I mean, we're going to explore the really surprising conflict that can pop up when humans and kangaroos cross paths out in the wild. And hey, speaking of bizarre mysteries, here's another one that just completely defies how we think about land mammals. Why can't they walk backward? I mean, really think about it for a second. Almost every animal you know can just, put it in reverse if they get stuck or need to back away. But the kangaroo? It is locked into forward motion. It creates this fascinating cognitive dissonance. Like, how can an animal so incredibly agile and powerful be entirely incapable of a simple backward step? Well, the structural mechanics behind this are literally mind-blowing, and we're definitely going to unpack them. But before we get into the heavy science, we absolutely have to acknowledge their monumental status. They don't just hold up the Australian coat of arms, they literally dominate the continent itself. We are talking about tens of millions of kangaroos roaming across Australia. To put that into perspective, in a lot of years, kangaroos actually vastly outnumber the human population of the entire country. No way, right? They're just this dominant, undeniable force across the whole landscape. So to understand exactly how they became that dominant force, we really have to look at their crucible, the Australian outback. Now, this is a beautifully harsh, just entirely unforgiving environment. It's defined by extreme heat, vast distances, and super scarce resources. For millions of years, this specific, incredibly tough landscape acted as this relentless evolutionary filter. The kangaroo didn't just, survive here. It was forged by it. Every single trait they possess evolved perfectly to master this exact ecosystem. Section 1. Incredible physical feats. 9 meters. That is our first incredible metric right there. A kangaroo can jump nearly 30 feet in a single explosive bound. Just imagine you're standing on a basketball court, right? And with one leap, you cover almost the distance from the three-point line to the opposite basket. It's just a staggering display of biomechanical efficiency. They're using their specialized tendons, almost like massive natural rubber bands, to literally propel themselves through the air. And then we have 70. Not only can they leap those incredible distances, but they can actually reach a top speed of 70 kilometers per hour, which is about 43 miles per hour. Honestly, when I hear this stat, I don't even think of an animal anymore. I kind of think of a sports car. They use this blistering speed to evade predators and just chew up vast stretches of the arid outback in search of food and water. And here is the crazy part. Their breathing is mechanically linked to their hopping. That means at this speed, they're effectively traveling on a sort of biological autopilot, exerting surprisingly little energy. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it brings us right back to our earlier mystery. Despite that incredible 70-kilometer-per-hour forward speed, they literally cannot walk backward. This strange physical limitation actually just comes down to their highly specialized muscular and skeletal structure. Their massive hind legs and that thick, heavy tail, they're optimized entirely for forward jumping. So the very mechanics that make them the ultimate forward-moving machines completely strip away their ability to step in reverse. It's an evolutionary trade-off and, well, a brilliantly effective one for sure, even if it makes backing out of a tight spot pretty much impossible. Which perfectly leads us into some of their other anatomical quirks. First up, the one we all probably know. They're marsupials. That means the mother carries her baby, a joey, in a pouch. It's a highly effective way to protect their young while staying mobile. But beyond the pouch, their anatomy hides this massive secret. Their tail actually acts as a fifth leg. Yeah, you heard that right. When a kangaroo is moving slowly, just kind of grazing and shuffling forward, it plants that massive, muscular tail right on the ground. It uses it as a prop to support its entire body weight while it swings its back legs forward. So it is literally a 5-legged walking mechanism. How wild is that? Section 2. The dangerous side. I actually like to refer to these specific traits as biological weapons because it completely shatters that whole cuddly mascot expectation we talked about. First off, male kangaroos regularly fight each other for dominance in these absolutely brutal boxing-style matches. And yes, going back to our very first question at the start, they are highly capable of attacking humans if they feel cornered or threatened. Get this, a large male kangaroo will actually balance on that heavy tail we just talked about, rear back, and deliver a dual-footed dropkick strong enough to shatter bones. And that's completely backed up by razor-sharp claws on their toes. They are absolutely not to be trifled with.
Section 3, Myths versus Facts.
So, the crucial point is we really need to completely recalibrate our understanding of this animal. First up is the personality myth. We always expect this gentle herbivore, just patiently waiting for a tourist's photo op. But the reality, they are wild, highly territorial animals, and they will become aggressive if they feel threatened. You absolutely must give them space and respect their boundaries, or trust me, that friendly facade drops instantly. Next, let's look at their real estate. There's this pervasive myth that kangaroos only live in the red, dusty deserts of the outback. But the fact is, their adaptability goes way, way beyond the desert. They actually thrive in forests, dense grasslands, and just a huge variety of habitats across the entire Australian continent. They are incredibly versatile survivors, and they know exactly how to make a living almost anywhere the climate allows them to. And finally, we've got the myth of uniformity. A lot of people just think a kangaroo is a kangaroo, that they're all exactly the same size and shape. But actually, scratch that, multiple distinct species exist. You have the towering red kangaroo, which, by the way, is the largest marsupial on Earth. But then you also have eastern gray kangaroos and much, much smaller relatives. So there really isn't just one type. There's this rich diversity among the species, and each one is uniquely tailored to its specific slice of the Australian ecosystem. So, when you put all of these facts together, the truth becomes pretty clear. The kangaroo is basically the ultimate survivor. They embody this really fascinating duality. Yes, they are Australia's famous mascot, but right beneath that branding lies a seriously powerful, highly intelligent creature that is perfectly adapted to master one of the toughest environments on planet Earth. Honestly, they are just a sheer triumph of evolutionary engineering. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with a question to think about. Which kangaroo fact surprised you the most? Was it that crazy 43-mile-per-hour top speed? The fact that they literally use their tail as a fifth leg? Or, I don't know, maybe the realization that they can unleash a totally bone-shattering kick? Take a moment to reflect on what you've learned today and really let it change the way you view the wild, complex, and just incredible natural world around us. Thanks so much for joining me to uncover the truth, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.